service tickets obviously are used for any type of a time and material job. Doesn't just have to be residential, it can also be commercial. If you don't already have a service ticket form, you can find it on the drive. So the Tech Access main route, you can find it here, and you can download it or print it from here. So I already have one. So pretty much it looks like this. It's blank. I'll fill it out. So this is where you put some client information. This is specific to that day's job, which I have a filled out version, which we'll go over. Description of work, you're gonna put pretty much everything that you did during that day, that way the client knows what was done. 99% of the time we will actually have a customer available to sign. Sometimes maybe we work when the client actually has closed office hours, or maybe the person that hired us already left for the day. So try and get a customer to sign, specifically more the person that hired us, so that way they are agreeing to everything that's on here when it's filled out. So service ticket pricing, we are $85 per hour per technician, but $85 per hour plus materials. Side note, parking and tolls we also do. So we do have a minimum in case we get a job where it's just, hey, can you just check if this cable works? And if it doesn't, then you would have to rerun it. We go there, we check the cable, it passed our certification test, we were only there for 10 minutes. Unfortunately, we have a minimum. So we would charge 3 hours of labor plus travel hour. Every service ticket, no matter if it takes 1 minute or it takes a full 8-hour shift, you would charge still at least 1 travel hour. So that time actually would add up to 340. So let's look at a sample one. So this is completely filled out. So client name, some technicians went to a random fun bar. That was the name. This is the address. Site contact, Bob Dylan. Phone number, that's how you reach Bob Dylan. This is Bob Dylan's email address. So this is for billing. Make sure that you try and get the correct email for billing. So here, this was done obviously way in the past, 10/21 of 2020. We had 2 technicians on site. We had Paul and Jason. But Paul got there at 9 a.m. Jason had another site to do in the morning, so he arrived at 11 a.m. They did not take up a full 8-hour shift. They got done at 3:30. So what I usually do for clients, so that way they understand our billing system, is I break down why we get the final total hours. So for instance, Paul worked 6.5 hours, Jason worked 4.5, that equals 11. And once again, no matter how much time we spend at a site, we always do 1 travel hour, which is 85, but we'll just do 1 equals 12 hours. So this is how we get the 12 hours. It really does help for the client to realize why we come up with the numbers that we do. So here, Paul and Jason listed everything that they did, even down to this is the ports that these 4 cables went into. They also said that everything's on the Google Drive. All of our technicians will upload pictures, cert testing results, including this service ticket form, to the Google Drive in the appropriate folder. Bob Dylan was on site, so he was able to sign and date for this service ticket. Down here, materials used. So we list out everything possible once again. So not only do we know what was used inventory-wise, and also if we have to go back, like, okay, this is the type of materials that we would use. So for instance, we use some plenum cable. That way we know we have to use some plenum if we ever have to go back. But also so that way the customer can see, once again, the breakdown in pricing, so that way they fully understand why they would be paying the amount that they'd be paying. Once again, we do charge for parking and tolls. Here, they did not need to pay any tolls, they needed to pay parking. So parking garage, $10 per technician, so obviously it'd be $20 down here. So labor up at the top, the 12 hours times 85 gets you this. All of the materials over here gets you this. And this would be the total that the customer would be billed out. So they can pay a check payable to Bridge Global Services. And if they do give a check, then you would take a picture and also submit the picture of a check and try and get that over to the office right away, or to Paul right away. They can also pay via credit card, so they would have to call me, Victoria. Hopefully I am not on the road and I can take the card at that time. If they ever ask, we do not save card information per PCI compliance. And they can also pay via sending a check. So you would submit the service ticket, Victoria would then create an official invoice, send it over to them, and then they would follow their AP and AR processes. Over here is just the last minute, not last minute, but what else did you do outside of the scope of work? So for instance, Paul and Jason noticed that the bolts on the rack was a little bit loose. So they tightened them for them, and then noticed that the client was maybe in need of a CCTV system. Let them know of your other services that you can do. And that is how you would fill out a service ticket.